Hopefully this one doesn't freeze on us. But like I said, we're just gonna talk about our feelings today, cause okay. Okay, so we're back. So spoiler alert, most of the videos this week are going to be voiceovers because I didn't really have time / space to actually like film. So yeah, but that's that. This is really weird. Why am I just... Okay. Hello. This is a shiny live stream, if you couldn't tell from the title. This is a shiny channel. We're not on that like fake and citizen theme that I'm generally on. This week it is a shiny channel. We do listen to, follow, and adhere to shiny pop on this channel, and that's just that on that. If you don't like it, turn off notifications if you ever had them on, because that's just what it's going to be. If you aren't really sure what that means, stick around and you might learn some stuff. Even if you do think you know what that means, stick around and you might still learn some stuff. Because we're diving deep. So it's going to be a jolly time. So now I'm going to, I guess, do a live reaction. Like this, wow, this looks a lot better than it did over there. I'm not sure why. Okay, but now I'm going to... Ada! Okay, so, I mean, I'm y'all's favorite fake deep K-pop fan, so it's really not that deep, but since it's shiny, it is. So we might do a little Black History. I'm not sure if we're putting that out this week or June for like Black Music Month. We might do a little deeper cuts from the discography. Hey, Candy Girl. Hey, Maya. He looks so good with that freaking buzz cut. Even Onyu looks a little good. And it's like... And I wasn't here for it when I first saw those cuts. So that's why I'm like shaken to my core. Cause like... But yeah. So... Just some of my favorite songs. Some of my favorite albums. Like, I don't know. What would you guys be interested in discussing this week in preparation for the comeback, in preparation for the 10th year anniversary of the contemporary boy band, 5-member SHINee of SM Entertainment, debuted 2009, leaders in music, dance, and fashion. Like, what do we want to do? 'Cause there's just so much you can touch on, and best believe this is going to be an annual event. So if you have any other content creators that you really think could add a lot to this, definitely like reach out to them and like ask them to like jump on it, because it's not blacknetizen week, it's SHINee week. So it'd be really cool if like other content creators could jump on. I tried contacting some other ones, but I'm like really awkward and I don't talk to anyone, so I'm not sure if they even like got my messages. Like, yeah. Okay. Hey, otaku girl. Lauren, right? Okay, Maya, but if you look at it in that one picture, when he. What? Okay, Tim wants their best B-sides. I can't guarantee you best, because I have my taste, which you could definitely say it's acquired. So I can give you some of my favorites. But okay, so B-sides. I really I don't I feel like we sleep on Shiny's discography a little bit. Shawol's and non-Shawol's alike, cause like I feel like Shiny's one of those like integral groups, but since they're never really like number one record breaking most selling blah 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 groups, like it's very easy to kind of ignore them in like a history of K-pop discussion, but like I feel like that's playing yourself, because like Shiny's so important for like I feel like especially for my generation of non-Korean K-pop fans, but it's very easy to just ignore their impact, I guess you could say. I mean, I'm planning to do a lit shiny playlist get ready with me. I don't know what that means. Hey Tracy. Hey Bam Malalis. Okay, like my I don't even know like where to start, because like there's the longevity, there's the creativity, there's the taking it back, but then keeping it fresh and new. But then there's like the consistency, but there's like also never giving you the same theme twice. But then there's also like, I mean, it's shiny. So, but yeah, I'm going to watch the teaser now. If I cry, don't make fun of me, or I'm going to track you down and fight you. Oh no! No. Okay, that was really dramatic for no actual reason. Okay, so when they're coming to like look at the well, we see a little shadow. Might that be like Minho's shadow or something? Cause that could that be what's happening there? Like could okay, okay. You know what y'all really need to do? Y'all need to move me out of the freaking boonies. Cause hey, kawaii berries. Okay, so that was fun. Not. Anyway, so I finished the teaser while the stream stopped. Okay, hey Harper. So I finished the teaser. I don't know what that like goop was that was drooping down their faces. I'm not sure why they're in like grocery bag material or whatever. Hey Ashanti. I don't know. Okay, if the stream stops again, I'm going over to Instagram since I don't use Instagram and I probably should use Instagram. Whatever. Tracy, I would really like to not think about whether this is like, you know, their last album for a while or for forever. Shout out to Forever and Ever. Like there's so many songs, I'm all over the place, but there's so many songs that like I didn't really remember because like they weren't available on Spotify because I don't know what's up with SM, but they don't have their old OG bangers on Spotify and it's a travesty. But anyways, but Forever and Ever slaps. Does anyone ever understand SHINee's concepts? Maya, I raise you on and ask, do we ever really need to understand SHINee's concepts? Just embrace it, accept it. Real? Nah, real? Nah, like, okay. So, yeah, I guess I'll include, I was thinking of doing like a lit SHINee playlist, get ready with me, whatever. Cause like, I don't understand just like going through a playlist and like jamming out cause like I don't know. Why am I still using this? I'm not listening to anything. But, so, yeah, I'm not sure if I would do that. And I might refilm some videos just to spice it up or whatever. But yeah. So the other thing I'm nervous about with this comeback is like how the 3 parts. Okay, so it's 3 EPs. What does that mean? What does that mean? That's all I want to know. I know, like, this is reminding me of misconceptions. And it's like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like, that's just a lot. That's just a lot. And they've already been through a heck of a lot the past 12 months. So, like, yes, like, I did do the quiz on shiny6.smtown.com. I did the little quiz and I got 1 of 1 as per usual. Then I like went back and retook the quiz and changed my like are you feeling nostalgic answer to no, and I got beautiful from misconceptions, which was like interesting because I don't really listen to the song that much. I just want them to be happy and healthy, and I want to be graced with some bops in the process, really. Everything else is like, okay. 1 of 1. Would y'all mind if I did a whole video on the artistic merit of 1 of 1? I've written like 2 essays on it already. Like, it's really bad. But I feel like that's such like a tiny molehill to die on in the grand scheme of things. But like, that's like top 2 favorite SHINee comebacks ever. And I feel like it's disrespected. I understand why a lot of people don't like it, and I think that's entirely valid. But at the same time, as a 90s baby and fake 90s kid, boy band connoisseur, it gave me everything. Like, it gave me every single thing that I've ever wanted in my life via Shiny. So, yeah, I don't know. So, like, what would you guys prefer? Like, general overarching Shiny stuff or like real deep? You have, like, assuming you know the replays and the obsessions and the, what's it called, Love Like Oxygen, and like we get all of that, like whatever, we get that they're like one of the most iconic generation, one of the most iconic groups of generation 2.5, blah 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 blah, like cool, whatever, but one of one though. But that like one ad lib on, what's it called, in the second verse of Obsession. Is it Obsession? Yeah, I feel like it's Obsession. There's like that just like solidified Lucifer for me. Like, so, but with that place for like singing for 10 years, putting out premium products for 10 years, since the middle school, some of them. But that one ad lib on Lucifer is what really defines them as a group. Okay, so Maya would rather have the one. It's 5 days of Shiny content. So there's already like 5 videos waiting. 어떡해. Baby. Awkward one. But yes. I heard the all day, all night. Okay, so ideas right now, like I said, just me getting ready in a similar vein to the first listen, Get Ready with Me's, except it's obviously not a first listen. It's more in the vein of a lit playlist. If you've seen those kinds of videos, I think like beauty, not beauty, like those like lifestyle-ish beauty channels usually do that kind of thing. So basically it would be me getting ready to a bunch of fun Shiny songs that I really really like. So it'd be some title tracks but also some B-sides, and then there's, I still can't figure out a title for the video, but basically like the importance of Shiny. Then there's also my Shawol story, which is where I just talk about my journey in coming into my own as a Shawol and kind of the role Shiny has played in my life as a K-pop fan. Then there's also Lucifer. I don't know, do they do unsung episodes on like albums? Cause like I feel like doing, like it's very much in the vein of like Unsung, if you've ever seen that show on TV1 where they talk about artists who like got a little success but are kind of underrated in like broader general discussions. I feel like Lucifer, as iconic as the song is, I feel like we disrespect that album. I honestly feel like we do. I mean, I don't even, I saw a bunch of people saying don't you dare even think about boycotting this album. And I'm like, who's talking about boycotting the album? I don't know. But hey, Cheryl. But like Cheryl said, grief is really complex. And like, I mean, if you want to sit this one out, I completely understand. Because it took me like till now to watch the teaser. And usually I would watch it as soon as it drops. But like this whole comeback, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But yeah. So that's the kind of content we have lined up right now. What else? I mean, like my whole theme is like, I don't know them, so maybe this is the healthiest thing for them to do. My presumption would be not necessarily presumption, but my like uneducated guess would be not guess, suggestion would be you do not have to come back ever again. Like that's your prerogative. Do what you want to do. Do what you need to do to heal. Tracy says, I'm evil. You are evil, Tracy. So she's asking if I had to choose which one to permanently go, NCT, all units, or Shiny. What do we mean by permanently go? If we mean seize all activity from 2018 and beyond, Shiny. Like I've come to terms with that. I feel like they're a self-actualized group. So like they can if they want to. NCT I feel has a lot of development left. Oh, Shiny song bracket. Okay, so like the whole like Shiny EXO BTS blah 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 madness was going around and I was thinking of doing that as a video, but then I was like, who's gonna watch? But now that I know Tin is gonna watch. Okay. I mean, realist talk, I haven't really been Shawol gang per se. I've been Shiny gang more than I've been Shawol gang my entire time in K-pop. So like I really don't even know what Shawols are like. The Limitless EP, we're still recovering. I honestly see so much greatness in NCT, but I'm not sure if SM is ready to like really nurture and cultivate and facilitate that level of greatness, that magnitude, that concentration, that variety. I did hear that they're doing a Thai Baby Don't Stop, and I'm like super excited, even though for me, it's just, unless they did like a completely different video, it's basically the same theme. Because I don't understand Korean or Thai. But yeah. I'm interested to see if like the music video is going to be different or if like the singing or whatever is going to be different. Like that would be really cool. I don't know. For me, Shawols have always seemed like the theater geeks of K-pop fandom. Like they seem like really cool and chill and accepting, and for the most part they are. But once it gets to certain topics, they get irate and they're ready to rage and fight. And it makes no sense, but it makes all the sense at the same time. Wow. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Like that's always been how I've imagined them. But like and also in the same sense, like theater kids like always seem like really like by accepting, I mean, it seems like they would never like bully people. Not to say that Shawols are bullies or anything, or like they would never really like look down on people. And for the most part, they don't really look down on people. But if you dare come and talk about some random like pop girl who hasn't even had a live performance in her life, has no breath control, all of that stuff, in a discussion with like Idina Menzel or something, a theater kid like that it just flips a switch and like we're ready to fight. And it makes no sense because we're literally talking about singing. It's just whatever you like, but what you like is also wrong. I feel like that's very much Shawol's. Like, we're cool. You're entitled to whatever wrong opinion you have, but you can't like desecrate very serious discussions of artistry by just dismissing certain facts as demonstrated by me just there. Like I don't even know like what I was talking about, but I was already getting mad because like it's offensive. It's offensive. Like you don't see me coming to your football game to talk about, these people are coming to your soccer practice to talk about like Man U and Chelsea and so I'd really, really appreciate it if you didn't bring your ignorance to discussions of pop artistry. Like that's very much I feel like that's kind of Shawol's. Honestly, there are certain instances when Shawol's get irate when like no one even talked about them. That's actually when I realized I was a Shawol because like there was that one like GD said something and like the way it was translated in English made it sound like he's the only idol who writes music. I don't know. There's some weird misconception that he was saying he's the only idol who writes music. Shawol's got so irate and I got irate with them and that's when I knew like I guess I'm a Shawol because I'm really ready to like physically fight over something that wasn't even said. Cause like what was my favorite Shiny solo? Solo song, solo music video, solo stage. Like, what are we actually talking about here, Tim? Because Move, Move is still so fresh in my memory. I'm like, would y'all like to see the Move first listen this week as part of Shiny Week? Or would you like to keep all Shiny Week content kind of OT5? You're my cocktail. That's not a cocktail, that's water. Mm-hmm. Where does Shiny rank in comparison to other SM groups? I'm not even sure. All I know is that they were the top earner for like first half of 2017, something like that. Suit Up still makes me cry. It doesn't really make me cry, but like it just hits. For some reason, like that's the song that like I'm just like, wow, this nigga's gone. Like I don't know what it is about that, but that song hits so hard. Shiny. I never thought of it that way. I feel like Key might release a solo. I feel like Onyu would have released a solo. I've never thought of Suit Up and Play Me as like related. But that's interesting because they're like two of my favorite songs from both of them. T can't wait for the. Okay, I know this is a strictly Shawol event, but I feel like I don't know. Am I overstepping bounds by saying I feel like NCT is like an interesting group because they appeal to both the like I don't know how to put it, but like the big boy band stands, like people who really like your EXOs, your DBSKs, your BTSs now, but then they also appeal to like I don't know your Shawols. I feel like I see a lot of Shawols who are also citizens, which is like interesting to like I guess balance appealing to those two. I'm not sure what the difference is in appeal between EXO and Shiny, but like there seems to be a bit of difference. That made no sense. Okay, Tim, I didn't like I knew they were icons. I knew they were Hallyu legends, but I never watched Boys Over Flowers, so like I didn't even really care. And like I vaguely remember hearing the song cuz like when I got into K-pop, Boys Over Flowers was like if you like Korean stuff, you have to watch Boys Over Flowers. So we're going to reference Boys Over Flowers for every freaking like Korea boo thing. But like I thought it sounded like Shiny, but I never like I it never really cemented in my head that that was actually Shiny that sang it like open. Like I don't know what I thought. I don't know if I thought like Shiny secretly sang it, but like we weren't supposed to know it was. I don't know what, but I knew like I was like, this sounds kind of like Shiny. Then I kind of forgot about it. Then I was like going back over the discography because I switched over to Apple Music and I was like, these dudes came out the gate as icons. Like they're legends in like different facets. Like not only a legendary debut, but then they pretty much debuted with like a legendary OST. I Oh wow, I didn't know a lot of babies were in cities. Actually, now that I think about it, some of the few babies that like babies that I still follow. Is this gonna sound messy? It might sound messy, but it's the facts, Jack. Okay, some of the people that I follow that are still babies, Cause I didn't unfollow anyone. It's just that everyone switched up on me. But the people that I follow that are still babies, a lot of them are also N-citizens. But I feel like NCT kind of appeals to a lot of people, which is weird, cause I don't want to think about additions to the core. Hey, y'all, we're NCT as one group. Black, black, black on. I'm not interested in that. People are talking about they're going to add like a female unit, which like in theory could be cool, but like girl, you can't even handle the 3 units you have right now. So like I'm just like I would be open to it if SM was actually about it, but they're not. So it's like if you're going to be putting Mark in freaking NCT China, you already don't know what you're doing. You're not operating even at like half efficiency. You're not ready to add more people. Like, and that's really your fault, SM. That's no one else's fault. Being slapped on, I feel like Pentagon to a certain extent. This is actually a video I have in the works, like groups that got me back into K-pop. So it includes some people who I feel are a bit underrated, but not, it's mostly like pretty popular groups. Okay, exactly. Like SM Rookies 18G. Like I need them to be their own thing. I need them to, I don't know. Maybe they could even like do like a reverse theme with like Red Velvet. Be like, I don't know, the SNSD to Red Velvet's FX. I feel like that could be a thing. Okay, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're having trouble understanding NCT's concept, you just don't want to understand their concept. And that's fine, but don't pretend like it's rocket science. It's really not. Wait, what are SM stands saying? Okay, but if they graduate, where are they graduating to? That's my whole thing. Like, NCT Dream, okay, I get it. It's for the youth them. Great. But OT7 2016 to 2018 Dream, that needs to be a permanent theme. Because they give me. Do I say shiny teas? Can I say shiny teas? I feel like they give me shiny. I wasn't around for DBSK, so I can't speak on that. But like, just the Addie. I think we all understand that FX isn't getting a comeback, which is a hot mess. And even if they do get a comeback, I'm not sure if I want them to just like hiatus into a disbandment or hiatus into a super duper long hiatus or come back with like a holiday type comeback. Like if SM could do what they did to SNSD for their 10th anniversary, I don't want to see what they could do to FX. Like I really don't. Honestly, I don't care what they do. I don't even care if it's just like an annual NCTU comeback. OT7, 2016 to 2018, NCT Dream needs to be a permanent fixture because they are what iconic. They are what legends in the making, out the womb. I'm it honestly hurts me how much people I mean, I can see the criticisms of Luna's debut. Like it was very is it house? I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to music. But like it was very like this one particular thing, and if you don't like that particular thing, obviously you wouldn't like it. But I like that was one of the first like K-pop albums in a while that I listened to from front to back, front to back. So, like that's one of my favorite albums ever. That was one of the first like K-pop albums that I personally connected with. So, like that holds a very near and dear special place in my heart. No offense, and again, it might not be my place to say as like a straight girl, but like I feel like SM dropped the ball by not like pushing that in the okay, this is gonna sound really weird. So flame me. Feel free to flame me because yeah. Like I feel like SM dropped the ball by not like promoting that in the gay community of Korea. I don't does that even make any sense? Like I feel like she should have performed that at Pride. I have not seen Hyorin's Dali. I'm like honestly I'm not that interested in it because I feel like I've kind of already seen it because I've seen heel choreography and I've seen Hyorin, so I'm like okay, cool. Yeah, like I think I remember them playing the song there, but I'm like, girl, you're in your like fifth musical this week. You couldn't you couldn't make it out to Pride just to sing like what's it called? Free Somebody, Keep On Doing, and Galaxy. That could have been her set. She could like but what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a fan. I don't know anything. I get that like the Korean public still might feel a ways about her, I guess, showing such like outright support for the LGBT community. But they also didn't buy the album anyways. So I don't know. I don't know what we're. I don't know what we're. I don't know why we care. So, but that's that on that. Um, okay, and this is what I mean. Like, I feel like SM, like, there are things that they can do. They're just not going to do them because it's not SM. That's not their brand. And it's like, sis, that's cute and all, but these young bucks are coming for your neck. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's, like, Big Hit, in my opinion, still isn't Big Three yet. But, girl, this is only BTS's fourth year. They still have a good. Jin was born 92. Yeah, they still have a good like 3 some odd years left before they hit their first like hiatus, and then you have they just with BTS alone, they have a roster of solo acts. Then they're preparing another group, which will probably be great because I loved Glam. I liked BTS, even though I took some getting used to. So like their new boy group is probably going to be premium as well. So like it's going for to be big four. So you need to get that hunger back to make sure they don't, not necessarily like big hit in particular, but just to make sure it's expanded and not rearranged. Because I feel like it's inevitable for the most part. Big Hit will eventually become part of the big whatever. So it's the big three's jobs to make sure that that's an expansion of the big whatever and not a rearrangement of the big three. What's it called? DSP? Because DSP was big too, I guess you would have called it back then. And, it expanded, but DSP isn't part of that big whatever anymore. Okay. Anti-ways. Tim, yes, it is their legacies that make them big three. But I feel like Big Hit is making their own legacy and they're going to soon be putting out more groups. So they too will have at least one legacy and a hot new group. Whatever the new group is going. Hey Taquan, whatever the new group's going to do, it's probably going to be successful. Not just cause BTS, but I mean a large part cause BTS, but then also a large part Big Hit generally makes Big Hit to a certain extent has a formula. It's somewhat socially conscious to a certain extent. Hip hop based pop music with an edge. Okay. So to me they almost perfected it with Glam. They've obviously perfected an iteration of that formula with BTS. So it isn't far fetched for us to assume that they will have a really nice formula for whichever new group they're coming out with, and there are going to be a bunch of people who will probably be interested in that new group that they're coming out with, because like a lot of people really like the Big Hit brand, which okay, that's great. Tracy said, "What is YG doing with life?" Oh, I think you might be the only person, Taquan. Said, am I the only one who hates it when K-pop groups make new Japanese songs instead of just making Japanese versions of the songs they already have? I think so. Cause like Addie, BTS is not Big Hit's first group. Their first group was a girl group with virtually the same concept, which is, I know that hurts people's feelings, but yeah. Their first group was a girl group called Glam that also made some pretty like social that had songs that were hip hop based pop songs. They had a B girl, so they were very like like they were much more in your face, and they're kind of part of that generation of, or not, maybe not a generation, but that little cohort of like 2011 to 2013 girl groups that were very like fierce, in your face. They're not passive. Like I said, they had a B girl who did like tricks and stuff. They had lyrics that hinted at like LGBT dynamics. They had I'm not sure if it was the same song or a different song, but they also talked about loving yourself and embracing yourself with your imperfections and all of that stuff. So, but they got caught in a scandal, and they never really caught on like that. There was some buzz around them as far as like international K-pop fan community, obviously, because they were talking about pretty like interesting, serious-ish issues in a very fun like format. But they were part of the, oh my gosh, they're trying to be 21 cohort. So of course no one was really rocking with them because only 21 can be fierce. Tim, Shoujo Jidai? Shoujo Jidai. I probably mispronounced that, but I don't care. Shoujo Jidai, we're not going to disrespect them in this household. We will never disrespect them in this household because they did all of that and more. My favorite Korean music company. I'm an anti-capitalist, so I very much believe there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. And I guess like a corollary or whatever to that would be there's no ethical production under capitalism. So I don't really like companies per se. But I would have said Big Hit, except they're like very anti like female artists, female trainees or whatever. So like even if I was going to ignore my own personal political beliefs, that cost them a couple points in my book, cause okay, so see, this is why I just don't. I'm bitter. I'm a very bitter human being. Why? Cause I've seen so much, and it just hurts my feelings that when the mini 21s, the 21 copies were coming out, everyone was like, "Oh, they trying to be 21. They trying to be 21, and they trying to be 21." So no one supported them. So that was a dub. So everyone started making SNSD copies, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, all the girl groups are cute." Well, when they were trying to copy 21, y'all was hating. When they tried to copy SNSD, some of y'all are still hating, but at least there's still people who support that kind of girl group. So obviously, people are going to make what is supported. And now we're stuck with Blackpink with like what, three legitimate songs from like 21's like 2011 cutting room floor. Like if it wasn't good enough for 21 and 2011, why are you pushing it out with like that's the thing that gets me with Blackpink. Like I want to like Blackpink, but I feel like YG doesn't care at all. It's just like, hey, they're pretty girls, they're wearing cute clothes, they're like making faces and stuff. So yeah, whatever. It's basically those old girls, but they're pretty. Okay, so what happened with their first group, in addition to like not doing super duper well, they I don't know how many members. I think it was two members were caught in like a blackmail scandal with an actor because like I guess he was cheating on his wife with them, and they were like, "Hey, if you don't give us all this money, we're going to go to the press and like expose your affair or whatever." And he was like, "I don't care." I don't remember exactly what happened, but that's kind of the theme. So one of them went to jail for blackmailing the guy, and then the group disbanded, and they Okay, T, thank you for bringing up Girl Kind, cause I just I want to understand where people are coming from. I did not rock with BTS at debut because it was entirely too much. Entirely too much for me. I was like, no, this looks like a minstrel show. It looked like a minstrel show, but like they ran out of shoe polish, so they're like, I guess we'll just have to wing it. So like I was just rubbed entirely the wrong way. What's the difference between that and like girl kind? Like what actually like I'm like that's where I'm lost. Like that's where I'm just like where's the congruency? Like what Okay, so these guys could do it, but there's some girls doing it. I'm not saying you have to like them cuz like you don't have to like them. But like the way people react so harshly, so brashly, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the like people like rail against them, and it's like, but you rocked with what? Like you literally like you supported the same thing all the way to like the billboards, like so I'm confused as to, like I guess the thing that shocked me was like more it shocked me that more people weren't like that's not it, but I'll keep an eye on them cuz it's cool to see this kind of concept from a girl group. Maybe, you know, after they like train a bit more, maybe after some vocal lessons, you know, maybe if they shift this, maybe if they tweak this and that, I can like really try and get into them. Not really my theme for right now, but I like this concept. I didn't see too much of that, which was like, which is wild to me because I was very anti hip hop concept boy groups. So I would expect way more people to like be willing to give them a chance the next go round. Like I'm not like I said, I'm not expecting them to like it just because it's a hip hop concept, but I would expect that more people would be open to giving them a chance to like develop since they're kind of one of the few girl groups who caught enough people's eyes doing that concept at this time. But what do I know? It was kind of chapped. But yeah. Speaking of BTS, how did we feel about the BBMAs? The reactions to Normani were so funny. Okay, T, that, see, like, that's the thing, like, they're not going to have years to develop if, like, no one has any sort of support for them. Hey, Latanya. Okay, so I didn't know the difference between the Billboard Music Awards and the American Music Awards until last year. So there's that. But like Normani and what's his name? Khaled, like their performance was really the way Khaled sings is so interesting. In like I don't know, it's like one of those things where it's like I feel like he's doing a lot when he doesn't need to at all. But it was just very like his like first part, like him starting the song was just very like odd for me to like listen to because it was like like I felt like he was doing a lot when he just didn't need to, which is like very different for Normani. And I'm not saying he needs to sing like in a traditional R&B way or anything, but like I didn't really hear what he was saying. And then Normani, of course, is like I guess some people are kind of alluding to her being a baby Beyonce type performer, artist. So she's doing that. I thought she was really great. I don't know what she was wearing. I'll be honest. I don't know what she was wearing. But that wasn't the point. The point was she was sickening. She was everything. She is that girl. But then, like, when they came together, it was still kind of awkward because I don't, that seems like the kind of song you would, like, sing to the person you're singing with. But they kept looking at the camera, and they're already such different, like, personas, I guess. Like, it felt like two completely different performances happening at the same time until like the very end when they looked at each other again and it was like okay, because he was literally in like what chinos and like a sweatshirt and she was in like a lace leotard skirt thing with heels and black like fishnets or something. Like it was just like very separate. Like I don't really listen to Khaled, but like I appreciate what I think he means to the youth them. I heard that they showed what's it called, Normani's reaction to Camilla's performance, but they didn't show Camilla's reaction to Normani's performance. Anyway. Okay. I hate to be the big bad second gen bitter K-pop stan, but what were we expecting? Were we really like I'm really really sorry, like objectively speaking, did we really think most US media outlets think of BTS as like this really dynamic, interesting music group that's captivated all these people around the world with their like, amazing choreo and interesting like music videos and like just all of this lyricism and poetry and reference. Like, girl, all they know is you say BTS, 50, 70 million people are on your jock. That's really what happened. Like, did did we think DNA earned them a performance spot after the Janet Jackson? Is that really what was that the world we were living in? Was it? I'm And that isn't to say like that's what BTS deserved or like you guys shouldn't complain. I'm just confused by people being shocked cuz like I feel like if anyone said what everyone is basically saying now that we've seen it on such a big stage 2 months ago, people would have said they're haters. You're saying you're hating on BTS, blah 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 blah. I'm not wishing BTS bad. I hope they go all the way. Like I'm really happy for them. Like it was like my heart was feeling things when they walked up on that stage a second time to accept that award. But like at the same time like I don't like I really don't I I guess all the way to being like really successful in the US as artists. So like really solid radio play and whatever else is supposed to come with that. Which is why I didn't get why people were like, oh my gosh, why didn't they mention any other K-pop groups? Why did they mention themselves whenever she asked them if there are any other groups that are breaking a break? It's like, girl, they haven't even broken in America. So how are they supposed to be predicting all these other like I'm very confused. Like they still have a long way to go themselves. As successful and as humongous and as history making as they are right now, they have a long way to go before you can say they're a really big band or big music act in the US. Cause as diverse and like robust and big as their fandom is in the US, that still isn't that still isn't like I don't know, like I think people confuse like your clout and like fandom size with like actual like general public recognition, if that makes sense. Like a lot like BTS is in like a whole other stratosphere as far as like how people I don't know, like as far as like people being able to recognize them in the US or being able to recognize the name BTS in the US, but that's still very different from people actually knowing what BTS is. Like people barely kind of know Ariana Grande. So like there's a long way to go and there's a lot of work to do. So I'm like I guess it seems kind of like odd to me that people would be like, oh my gosh, like why would they only focus on their like on the audience? Like why are you just focusing on the fandom? Because like their fandom is what got them this far. It's not their music. Obviously their music and their work and all their everything is what got them the fandom. But as far as most people, most, I guess, industry, I don't know anything about the industry, but most industry people are concerned, they have a lot of clout, so we want viewership, we want tweets, we want all of this stuff. So we're gonna put them in the show. After Miss Janet Jackson. Like, I don't like I personally I'm not a fan of the oh, we worked so hard to get BTS blah blah like okay, cool, and you have a lot more work to do, but that's like what's the actual point if like what's the point of opening a door just for yourself and then closing it right behind you? I don't get that. That's essentially what I was trying to say. Literally, literally, if they shouted out any group aside from EXO, my grandkids wouldn't hear the end of it. Cause that's they beefing, shade, rah, this, that, the other. It's like, girl, like I said, they're trying to break in America. Obviously, they've learned from previous K-pop groups not to go about it so, I guess, outright. That doesn't make any sense, but you guys hopefully understand what I mean. They know not to just like, hey, we're going to attempt American advancement. See you in another year, Korea. Hey, America, we're here and we're BTS and we're going to take over the pop. Like, okay, obviously they understand that doesn't work. But from what we've seen, it seems like they're still making their way downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and they're homebound. I mean, I like it's just weird to see people saying the same thing that you were saying a few months, maybe a year back, and they came at you for it, or they shade like, oh, you're a hater if you're saying this, or if you think they can't do. Like, I'm not saying they can't. There's a slight possibility that they could. Okay, T. Yes, Despacito went huge, but we have Spanish language radio stations that literally just play Spanish language music. So there's already a market and an industry and everything inside the US for Spanish language songs. And I was already hearing like Despacito on the Spanish language station for what felt like a year before the Justin Bieber remix came out. So it was already a smash hit on the Latin charts in the US. We're not even talking about the rest of Latin America. Yeah, we're not even talking about like actual Latin America. Just within the US, it was a smash on the Latin charts, and then it crossed over with an a mixed English and Spanish remix. We don't have that for Korean. Not yet anyway. So like I mean for sustainability, like it's really I honestly feel like it's really just the fandom that's going to sustain them kind of. Wait, what's 1.5? Okay. I mean, of course a bunch of people like won't understand the hype around it. But I feel can they have a Korean language hit in the US? I feel like anything is possible, really. But it's going to like I said last year, you guys can check the video. I'm not sure if I explicitly stated it in the video. Like I made How You Like Me Now on their BBMA. Like their first BBMA and like what exactly that means cuz like I said, I didn't even really know what the BBMAs were before they were nominated, and it is a social award. So it's like a fan voted social award at an award show that most people don't particularly care about. So on one hand, it's not that big a deal, but on the other hand, it's a humongous deal. So it's a humongous deal because it's a stepping stone to bigger and grander things. So I think a lot of people maybe need to take things more in stride, maybe need to be a bit more discerning about who they give their clicks and their clout and their mentions to. Maybe not, clamor at every single mention of BTS from a US publication, from a US celebrity, checkmark, what have you. I mean, T, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, very blatant, like, attempts at crossover have been made by K-pop acts before. So I feel like BTS is being very careful about not doing that so that they don't, like, potentially, like, kind of show their entire anus. Because, it's very, this isn't a diss, let's be clear. Like, it's a humongous deal for me to hear Jin singing in Korean on my local Houston radio station, and for that song to like make top 40. Maybe some people would feel it isn't that big of a deal for them to record an entire English album and do all of this and blah 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 blah, and it does the same numbers that, you know, their Korean language stuff does. It might feel like you put in all this effort and you still just kind of you kind of ranked. So I'm not sure if that might be a factor. You know what's interesting about Europe? The last great generation of like US boy bands, both of the like I guess spearheads, that doesn't make any sense. Both of the like leaders of that generation, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, got popular in Germany before they got popular in the US. And that was actually very intentional on their company's parts. They like tested them out in Germany and then brought them to the US. So it's interesting that like not too many K-pop groups are attempting it, but I also feel like it might be an issue of like not necessarily having the infrastructure to have K-pop events in Europe. Cause like the few times that things have happened in Europe, it's kind of yeah. So there's that. I stay out of Eurovision because, like, y'all get kind of scary. No offense. Wait, Shiny is about to do what the other girls have failed to do the last few years, and we're happy. What are they about to do? They're about to do that. No offense. No offense. Shiny saves K-pop time and time again, and we just take them for granted and like what are we gonna do when Taemin goes to the army? Like oh my gosh, yes, Cheryl, please, thank you. I love you. I'll name my first child after you. Unless you don't want to, in which case I won't. But like most Americans don't really know any Spanish language music like that. For real, for real. Yeah. I mean, Devana and I discussed on blacknetizen podcast, like after we like kind of found out about pretty much like there seems to be like a new generation of brewing, possibly influenced by the popularity of K-pop within the US, but like navigating this new, I guess, landscape is proving interesting. Okay, bye. Like my only like who's going to save K-pop? Like NCT might be able to save K-pop, but will SM allow them to be that group? Will they allow them to have that kind of consistency? Like will they? Will they? Hmm. I don't. What's the difference? I don't pay attention to rookies anymore. No offense. Like I'm tired. D X V X N D. What's the difference? Pentagon. Pentagon will save K-pop. I believe I honestly believe Pentagon can save K-pop. Cube Entertainment, please stop. Just stop with the nonsense. Let Pentagon prosper and be great. Hey, Tay. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I was watching this, another one of those, like, random compilation K-pop videos, and it was, like, songs that were, and you, like, went through different songs, and, like, who sang it, and who it was originally intended for. And they said, like, Artificial Love was, like, intended for NCT. Just try and imagine like Taeyong on freaking Artificial Love. Just envision that. See the vision. For like then Taeyo Doya boy Jit. I feel like they're capable. But will SM let them prosper? That's the question. Like, I'm just like, the kind of like, literally, for me to go from hard pass, I don't care. Not only are they a new boy group, they're a new boy group from SM Entertainment. F that, I don't care about them. To like immediately just having an eargasm from imagining how certain members flip an already great song that I love dearly. Like, they're powerful. Yeah. Like, I just do not want Mark in NCT China. Like, y'all can put him in NCT Thailand for all I care. Just don't put him in NCT China. I need my premium Chinese K-pop. SM, you got me on this. You better keep me on this. Hey, Elrod. Hey, Shagra. Tracy, I'm sure you're not the only one. He's like, I personally don't think Taeyong is like that handsome. I just think he's like handsome, like very much handsome. But then he's also like very like odd looking. Odd, that sounds bad. But like he looks very different from most people. So that just like intensifies however you find his face. So if you think he's handsome, you think he's like super duper handsome just because he looks very different. Then if you think he's like not that cute, then you'll probably feel uncomfortable looking at him because like that'll be intensified by the uniqueness of his look. That sounds really bad, but hopefully you guys understand what I mean. So I'm not judging you. I do think he's adorable though. I think I think Lucas will be face of NCT China. Hey, Jasmine. Okay, so Okay, so basic recap. We started out talking about Shiny's comeback. This is a strictly Shawol event. And then just what you guys want to see from me this week for Shawol week. For Shiny week, I'm doing 5 straight days of Shiny content leading up to their 10th anniversary. So I was saying I have the idea of like a lit Shiny playlist where I just get ready to a bunch of Shiny songs that I like that are kind of more upbeat, and then diving into the Lucifer album as well as One of One, or like talking about Shiny's place in K-pop as a whole, different things like that. And I was asking for feedback. Then we got into BTS at the BBMAs, and then we got into what else? Different companies, different girl groups. And now we're on NCT, as we always end up being on NCT, and I don't know. Yeah. Win-Win is such a visual, it doesn't even make sense. Like, but yeah, if anyone has any other suggestions, like Tim suggested that I do a Shiny bracket a la like March Madness, so I might just film something like that, post. So yeah, this week, just to reiterate, blacknetizen on the YT is in fact a Shiny channel. Strictly Shiny pop in these streets. If you have a problem, turn off notifications for this week. I don't even, like, not to be mean, I don't even know what's happening in China half the time. Where is you won't be? You got to show me love. Hey Daniel. But yeah, just like I caught Jasmine up, that's all we've been talking about. Feel free to go back to any previous points of discussion, because okay, this lighting's bad, but girl, my arm's tired. Are we all good with the Taemin move being part of Shiny Week? Okay. I'll be honest, I skipped the entire Misconception series because I was honestly in a very dark place in my life, as dramatic as that sounds. So for some reason I didn't like Dream Girl, and I definitely did not like Why So Serious. Wait, T. So which debut are we talking about? Cause technically, Seven Cents is NCT's debut. Seven Cents is, I'm about to say it, so brace yourselves. Seven Cents is in the replay league of debut songs. So if they're talking about Seven Cents, they're factually wrong. They're incorrect. And they're objectively wrong. Because literally, I didn't listen to Dreamgirl until the Chicago fan meet. And they were playing it before the concert and everyone was doing the fan chants. And like, honestly, I felt the spirit. Just like, it felt like going to church. I'm as dramatic as that sounds, that's exactly what it felt like. So it felt like a hymn at church and I needed to get my hymn book and start reading the lyrics. I'm interested to see what NCT Latin America would be like. Like I'm just like I wish SM was like hungry. Like I wish SM was really hungry and Isuman wasn't embezzling half their shit. So like we could really see what NCT, cuz like I honestly I would be here for like 50,000 member collective, not necessarily on one stage together, but like I would be here for it, but like you can't even handle 18 dudes. Like but here we are. Ten solo. I actually reacted to New Heroes, but I haven't uploaded it because Ligaya, you're entitled to love whichever song you love. But woof woof, that's a very legitimate gripe to have with SHINee's discography. Candy Girl said that's the theme. SM doesn't want to put their back into it. Lazy. Like, I don't even know if it's lazy. Like, I don't, like, because I feel like they do a lot and nothing at the same time. Because, like, how are you going to fly these dudes out to Ukraine? But you aren't going to give us more than, like, 3 new songs. Like, what? Do we still want that video? Do we still want how blacknetizen, would have done NCT 2018 and done it right? Cause like I'm still very passionate about it. Cause like after listening to all of the songs, it's like you gave us NCT Mentry. You gave us the NCT Mentries, and these gems, like they aren't the best songs. Like they are, like most of them don't really rank in NCT's discography. Yes, a 2-year-old group has a discography. Welcome to the future. But like they don't really rank, but they're still solid songs. Like you just I don't even know music. I don't even know business. I don't know any of this. Why do I know what to do with this more than like anyway. I Maya, you're gonna have to leave the chat. Like, you're really gonna have to leave the chat. How dare you? How dare you? Disrespect. Whoa, whoa, whoa. In defense of Woof Woof. That was a joke. But was it? Cause like that's a little much. Like the songs, like as soon as I heard the beat for Boss, I already knew I wasn't really going to like the songs like that. So I had already come to terms with the fact that like it would be like a decrease in like the intensity of like and shitty. But like they still could have finessed it. Like if you could give us NCT Mentries, your concept is dreams, perceptions. Like, girl, what's the theme? Empathy? Like, I I saw their black on black performance as the mamas, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy this isn't like an actual song. Thanks, SM. Thanks. But I'm going to be logging off in a bit because I have to go to work in the morning. But you're keeping Why So Serious? Honestly, Why So Serious? Let's be real. Confession time. Why So Serious isn't that bad. I'm just offended that it was a single. That's really all that is. Tracy said black on black is up there with Burr. It's cold in here. You know which Shiny song took me completely unawares? Hitchhiking. When they opened Shiny World 5 in Dallas with Hitchhiking. Okay, so I heard, like, I always hear that they were going to do Nightmare. That would have. Would we have been ready for it? I'm not sure. Really. Sometimes I feel like Shiny just falls back a little so other people can live, and like they're just so. Why am I actually tearing up? I'm not being serious at all, but like, honest, like who would have survived that? Like who would have survived that? I honestly would have been so disrespectful. I think that's what was happening. Like I wouldn't have been ready for that because I would have gotten really irate and just started like, that's it. Everyone can pack up and go home. Shiny's it. Like, oh my gosh. Like, night. Oh. And you know what? You know what makes it even worse? I know, because you know how SM, like, they have a certain music video, like, especially at that point in time, like, I don't know if they got, like, a value pack, so everyone had to use the same effects in their music videos. But, like, that one effect that the effect pack that they had for that year would have fit Nightmare perfectly. So, like it's not even about being the best song, because I am a strong proponent of promoting the best song for the concept and what you want to put across. So like Cherry Bomb, for instance. Ch- Cherry Bomb isn't necessarily the best song on that EP, but it definitely puts across that very strong experimental hip hop based concept, I guess, if you could call it that. Whereas there are other, like, I guess, more public friendly songs that were on the album that they could have chosen if they were going for that concept, if you will. And, like, I personally might like Back to You or Baby Don't Like It more than Limitless, but I feel like Limitless really, like, that's a single that really encapsulates what they're trying to do and put across with that album, what have you. Why so serious? Like, what was the, like, what's the point? Like, what are we supposed to be doing with this? Like, what are we, SM, you tell me, what are we supposed to be doing with this? Exactly. Like, I didn't get it. I wasn't here for it. I I did not like Minho's rap and tell me what to do, and I honestly feel like it kept me from so many blessings because it took me so long to listen to that album or the repackage. You know what I mean? Because, like, I already don't like ballads. I mean, I heard that they were really going to do Nightmare, but then Jonghyun was in his, like, in an accident. So, like, they're like, why so, like, that's, I think that's what gets me is like, was Why So Serious like number two from Jump, or like were they just like, oh, pick out from a hat Why So Serious, that can be a single, right? Okay, let's go. Like, I mean, you can. Ligaya, you can like Fire Truck a lot more than Limitless. And I'll just reserve my comments for myself. Wait, which false promises were made in Whiplash? I'm so into girl, you're my dream come true. You know what's wild? I don't know if Tim's still here, but like SM, we love knocking SM, but when SM goes to Japan, they do that. They do all of that. Like, and like that's the other thing I love about Shy. Can I don't know. Should I save that for next year or can I do that this year? Can I talk about how SHINee is a premium J-pop group as well as a premium K-pop group? Cause like listening to From Now On, I'm just like, girl, I stand a whole J-pop group, like a whole J-pop group. They have a Japanese discography, and I have not listened to Chain yet. Like, like, okay, so my choice in SNSD songs always seems to confirm that I'm an SNSD anti according to most of the ones, but I'm fine with that because I'm still buying the shit. I'm still buying the stuff. So, Bad Girl gave me my entire life. My entire life. I don't understand. You know what I feel like SM is doing? You guys remember that like skit Tyler the Creator and did where he's like where it's like a parody of like Real Housewives and he's like, "Did you just bring a birthday cake to my birthday party? Did you just bring like a birthday gift to my birthday party on my birthday for my birthday with a birthday gift?" Like that whole thing. I feel like SM literally when they go to Japan, I haven't checked out Chain, so I'm cool with y'all's like spoil. Actually, I'm not cool with y'all spoiling, so like don't let me know if I'm correct. But I feel like SM is just like, so you just expect us to give our Japanese member Japanese lines in this Japanese song for a Japanese debut on our Japanese EP in Japan? And it's like, yes, I do. I really do. So, we should be reacting like next, like in 2 weeks, because Sam's been like really sick. I feel like Tim is judging me. Yeah, there's gonna be a Thai version of Baby Don't Stop. I don't know what that means. If it's just gonna be them doing the same thing they did in the like Korean music video, but in Thai. Cool for Thai fam. It's basically the same thing. Okay, so I'm clocking out in like 3 minutes. So there any last requests? So are we like do we want to delve into SHINee as a premium J-pop group this year or do we want to save that for like SHINee Week 2K19 or like Tim, you're right. You're absolutely right. I should. Okay. Tim, you gave me a lot of clarity with that one answer. Bad Boy, not Bad Boy. What Bad Girl? That's what got me like, okay, I'm going for an strut in these. It's not like the ultimate Shoujo Jidai song, but like it was one that like I just I happened upon it and I was like, okay, cool, let me check this out. Like most people don't particularly care for it, but like I'm binging anyway, so I'll just watch it. Like the Shoujoji Dai discography, like all of that. Okay, wow, it's been a long day. Cause I think I saw a few people say this year earlier, and I was just like, what are you talking about? Sorry, guys. Yanni or Laurel? I don't know what you're talking about. I've seen that all over Twitter, but like, I at this point, I almost refuse to know what you're talking about. Okay, so we want to see me yap about Shiny as a premium J-pop group. Um, would you like me to talk about times I feel that Shiny has saved K-pop? I don't know if that's an inflammatory statement, but like that's just how I see it. That's really just how I see it. But okay. Okay, time Shiny saved K-pop. Shiny, the premium J-pop group. I just need to confirm because like halfway through like most videos I'm just like, why am I here? What am I doing? Literally no one cares. Like what are you doing? Saving K-pop. A Lucifer, delving into Lucifer. Okay, it might be more than 5 videos, but we'll see. We'll see what Starbucks has in store for us. Um, a bracket. Hey Victor, I'm about to log off. Um, some of my favorite songs playlist. Mm, which other ones have I recorded? Okay. Oh my gosh, my hand hurts. Okay, so we'll keep it a little spicy, a little varied. So we'll have like um I'm not here for twice the J-pop group. No offense, but live y'all's lives. Um okay, so we'll have two delving deep for like the hardcore Shawols. Then we'll have two just general like I guess K-pop study sort of Shiny's place in history type teens, and then we'll have two my favorite Shiny themes videos for this year. And I feel really bad because like I have the one of one video like filmed technically, but it looks so bad. And like my videos don't look a whole lot better now, but like I can't. I can't. I really can't. But yeah. Oh, that would be really interesting. T suggested Chinese influence on 17. On like I don't know if it's just me. And like I've heard people say this as a diss, which didn't make any sense to me, but like I've heard some people say, "Oh, Shiny wouldn't be as big as they are if they weren't from, you know, one of the big 3 companies," which is like, okay, yes, but that's literally why I like them. I like their sort of like mid-tier feel. Like they feel I would do a dance or vocal cover, except I can't dance or vocal. So I don't want to disrespect their legacy like that. So I will leave that. If you know people who can do stuff like that, definitely request them to do it and join Shiny Week. It's like Shark Week, but with Shiny. But yeah, like I guess that what I was trying to say is like they do have a similar feel to like a smaller company group that becomes successful, but they have the resources of like a humongous company. So I really don't see how that's a diss. I that's literally exactly what I like about Shiny. To me, they aren't particularly concerned with being the biggest, number oneist, blah 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 group. They're just very concerned with consistently putting out premium products and staying true to their brand while also expanding it, if that makes sense. Like staying consistent and true to what they are as a group, but while also bringing you something new and different each time. Like that's like I really like to me it feels like the Shiny team is very focused on like how can we be shiny but better or different, or like how can we do this but shiny? How can like it seems like there's a focus on the quality of what they're doing in addition to the quantity that obviously is a focus for any company. But I watched a little bit of Hello Baby, but I'm a fake Shawol, so I didn't actually watch all of it. Tracy's dog. She said, in another life, I could see Shiny as BTS but performing on the BET Awards at a Michael Jackson tribute. I thought. I hate that I'm on the same page as you. But for really, really now, I'm going to sign off. That way I can wake up early. Bye, y'all. And don't be afraid to, like, get at me on social media or whatever. Good night. Buenas noches, Daniel. Is it weird to hear your name pronounced Daniel? I just realized I probably say it kind of odd. Bye, Jasmine. My nose is stuffed.